anybody is ridiculous. He quit on it. Listen, I tried to give Ben Simmons a chance, but he quit on the Sixers. We all know I personally like him, but I'm ashamed at what he's been like over the last couple of years. Listen, as much as I got on James Harden and Joel Embiid, at least they put on the damn uniform and actually showed up at an arena and stepped on a basketball court. The nerve, the unmitigated gall of this modern-day Zoolander known as Ben Simmons. Remember Zoolander from the movie?
Yeah.
You know, Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
You remember that? The look, the look. Yeah, that Ben Simmons with male model and stuff like that. The nerve that this dude is going to sit up there and try to troll any athlete, let alone a basketball player from a team that he flat out quit on. It's utterly ridiculous. He doesn't need to say anything to anybody. He literally should issue an apology for that tweet. He got a lot of damn nerves. He really does.
Well, first of all, Molly SA is nothing new for him. Hell, he's been watching basketball games for the last 2 years. This ain't nothing new.
I'm talking about trolling them, though. But he's trolling them.
Yeah.
But he's trolling them.
No.
You guys are
you
tough.
don't understand what I'm saying. He's been watching basketball games for the last 2 years.
You're
we
saying
understand.
All he
We
does
get
is
it.
watch games. You have to admit the living room's nice, though, right? Come on. All right.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, one would argue he stole it. Because he damn sure didn't earn the money it cost to have that.
Oh, my
I mean, he played.
Stephen A.
It's
taking
true.
it. I'm taking
It's
it.
true.
I'm going to the debate, gentlemen. With the loss, Doc Rivers now has 10 Game 7 losses as a head coach, twice as many as any other coach in NBA history. The loss last night also marks his 5th straight Game 7 loss. No other coach has had more than 5, period. Pat Riley has the second most losses at 6 and 5. Here's Doc on the state of the Sixers.
James has a decision to make this summer, and he'll make it. I think he overall enjoyed being here. It's tough for him. We asked him to play a little different than he's always been accustomed to. I think it made us a better team. And unfortunately, I thought for James at times, it wasn't always best for him, but he still did it.
Are you of the belief that it has not yet hit a ceiling, that this group should be given another shot?
Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly, but that's not up for me. That's up to our owners and Daryl.
Are you planning to be the coach of the team next year?
Yeah, I think I got 2 years left. So,
given the tenor of what you've seen happen in the last 2 or 3 days, where coaches of the year, guys with titles.
Yeah, no one's safe in our business, and I get that.
How has your relationship been with Doc, and would you like to see him back?
Our relationship is okay.
Kirk, should the Sixers move on from Doc? Where are you on this?
No, hell no. What else are they going to go get? And here's the problem that I have, right? That record 6 and 10 in Game 7s, Molly and Stephen A. Can y'all? I need to talk to both of y'all real quick. I don't want to be by myself. I want to talk to both of y'all. That record, okay, is fool's gold. Let me explain why it's fool's gold. In Game 7s, it's about your superstars taking you home. It's not about X's and O's. It's not about coaching. It's about who wanted the most. Mm-hmm. I done been in Game 7s with Doc Rivers. I done been in Game 7 where Paul Pierce had to go toe-to-toe with a LeBron James. I witnessed that. It had nothing to do with schemes or none of that. P.J. Tucker had more points than James Harden last night. And a blind man could see Joel Embiid walking up and down the damn floor, walking into pick and rolls. Doc Rivers tried to make adjustments on Jason Tatum. When he tried to trap him in the pick and roll, he went right around Joel Embiid. I was like, is he tired? The game just started. The game just started. And so what I don't want to happen is this, because we already know the love affair that Daryl Morey and James Harden have with one another. I don't want them to trick the owners of the Philadelphia 76ers into believing that James Harden is still that dude and Doc Rivers was the problem, because that's not the case. And guess what? If James Harden want to walk, damn it, let him walk. Because I would let him walk, because I would love to see the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. And I would also pursue a guy like Kyrie Irving. Can you imagine Kyrie Irving with a Joel Embiid and a Tyrese Maxey? I would love to see it. I think he actually need a coach like a Doc Rivers. So no, I don't think Philly should fire Doc. I don't think that game last night was on his hands. I believe that his superstars and James Harden and Joel Embiid quit. Jason Tatum snatched their souls last night and they quit.
Well, that Kyrie portion is a conversation for another day, even though he is spectacular, and we get all of that. But let's stick to the subject at hand and talking about Doc Rivers. Kendrick Perkins, I've known Doc Rivers for over 25 years. I didn't play for him like you did. I didn't win a championship with him like you did. Wasn't good enough, even be on y'all level. We all know this. But I've been covering the NBA for a long time, and I consider Doc Rivers to be a great coach. I got a lot of love and a lot of respect for him. I do not believe he deserves to be fired. I don't want to see him fired. But we have to be fair. And what we have to do is ask ourselves, if this were anybody else in this situation, would this warrant a discussion as to whether they should stay or go? The answer would be yes. A, because you got guys like Mark Jackson out there. You got Monty Williams, who just got let go. You got the potential replacements out there. That's one reason. The other reason is that record that can't be ignored. This was his 16th Game 7, most all time. On the upside, Doc Rivers ranks 9th all time in NBA victories, one of 10 men who have won more than 1,000 games, and the other 9 are all in the Hall of Fame. That means Doc Rivers is a Hall of Famer. So we get that out the way. The negative is that this is the 10th time he's lost a Game 7. That's 5 more than any other coach. And when on the brink of reaching the conference finals, his teams have now dropped 10 in a row. And so when that happens, there comes a point in time where it's not about your greatness as a coach. It's not about somebody questioning your knowledge as a coach, your greatness as a coach. It's about them questioning whether or not that particular assemblage of talent needs a voice, particularly if you're stuck with them and you don't anticipate change. Daryl Morey is going to be there. Is Daryl Morey going someplace? We'll see. Is James Harden going someplace? We'll see. We know damn well Joel Embiid ain't going anywhere. We know Tyrese Maxey ain't going anywhere. Matter of fact, I'm willing to say this. If Doc Rivers had Jimmy Butler there, all right, as opposed to Tobias Harris, who the Sixers elected to keep, at the expense of letting Jimmy Butler walk out the door, which Jimmy Butler reminded everybody of last year when they beat the 76ers in the playoffs, one would legitimately argue that the Sixers would easily have been in the conference finals with Jimmy Butler, still a teammate of Joel Embiid. And so we take those things into consideration and we understand that Doc Rivers doesn't necessarily harbor that level of culpability. But in the end, when you look at that, people are going to talk about that. And then they get to what you just brought up. James Harden quit. Joel Embiid quit. They were soft as cottonelle tissue. You know, all of this other stuff. Well, there are some people that's going to look at, even though I'm with you and I'm with a lot of other people in the NBA that said the same thing you said. Game 7s are about the stars. The stars show up for Game 7, okay? But the fact is, some people look at it and they say, well, wait a minute. The coach is the guy that makes sure the last thing you do is quit. You might get outplayed. You might run into somebody better, but you don't quit. A Tom Thibodeau team, when you go down the way the Knicks went down Friday night. Come down to the wire, you scratching and clawing, you fighting, but you just didn't have it. You weren't good enough. That's entirely different than quitting. And when you quit, one of the things ownership religiously does is look at the coach, because they say they interpret it as the players quitting on you. Now, that's not always accurate, but that is how it goes, which is why Doc Rivers said what he said. He understands the business.
Well, let me say two things real quick. The first thing is this. Joel Embiid, their best player, their franchise player, has had his best 2 seasons under Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he won the MVP under Doc Rivers. And when you go back and look at those Game 7s, Stephen A., of Doc record, go look at who he lost to. One of those Game 7s, I was on the sideline, and he lost to Kobe Bryant. Another one of those Game 7s, he lost to LeBron James. And I remember we lost a Game 7 to the Orlando Magic in 2009 when we didn't have Kevin Garnett. So that has to play a part. And then last night, you lose a Game 7 to Jason Tatum, who dropped 51. It's no game planning in Game 7. It matters to who you lose it to and how it gets done.
Right,
Joel
right,
Embiid
but-
quit before the game started.